In a stunning twist, Iran has signaled support for the Philippines in its territorial disputes with China, an unexpected move that's shaking up global alliances. For decades, Iran has been at odds with the West, while the Philippines has been a steadfast U.S. ally. Now, Iran is hinting at solidarity with Manila against China, a fellow BRICS member. This isn't just diplomatic posturing. It could redraw the strategic map, forcing every major power to rethink its alliances. Iranian officials have spoken of defending sovereign rights and maritime security, language clearly aimed at China's actions in the South China Sea. For the Philippines, this is a game-changer, new leverage in a high-stakes standoff. Why would Iran risk its relationship with China? The answer: Iran wants to be seen as a global power broker, not just a regional player. By supporting the Philippines, Iran signals it will forge its own path, even if it means challenging the norms of blocs like BRICS. This move complicates U.S. strategy in Asia and could either strengthen or destabilize efforts to counter China. The world is watching as this unprecedented alliance takes shape. The South China Sea is a vital waterway. 1/3 of global shipping passes through, and it's rich in oil and gas. China claims almost the entire sea, overlapping with the exclusive economic zones of the Philippines and others. Filipino fishermen face daily harassment from Chinese vessels, and confrontations have escalated to water cannon attacks. China justifies its actions with historical rights, building militarized islands to cement its control. In 2016, an international tribunal sided with the Philippines, but China rejected the ruling and continues its activities. Into this tense standoff, Iran now steps, adding a new layer of complexity. Iran's foreign policy is evolving fast. Once focused on the Middle East, Iran now sees itself as a global force, especially after joining BRICS in 2024. It's diversifying partnerships to escape economic isolation and project influence far beyond its borders. Supporting the Philippines is a bold statement. Iran can shape events globally, not just regionally. Iran's advanced drones and missiles are part of this strategy. Offering military support to Manila is both a show of strength and a challenge to China. Within BRICS, Iran is asserting independence, signaling the bloc isn't just China's tool. This move lets Iran balance its relationship with Beijing while elevating its status among developing nations. The message: Iran won't be dominated by any superpower, East or West. The world must now reckon with Iran as a true global player. BRICS was meant to unite emerging powers, but Iran's support for the Philippines exposes deep cracks. National interests are trumping bloc solidarity, turning allies into rivals. The U.S., long the Philippines' main security partner, now faces a bizarre twist. Iran, a traditional adversary, is backing the same cause. Washington must decide: quietly welcome Iran's involvement to pressure China, or oppose it due to hostility toward Tehran. Other regional players like Vietnam and Malaysia may seek similar unconventional alliances, further complicating the security landscape. India, with its own China rivalry, watches carefully but hesitates to endorse Iran openly. The old model of rigid blocs is fading. Nations now form temporary coalitions to advance their interests. For the Philippines, Iran's support is a powerful new card, though not without risks. In today's world, corporate giants like Tesla and Starlink are as influential as nations. Tesla relies heavily on China, giving Beijing leverage over Elon Musk and U.S. interests. China has already flexed this power, targeting Tesla with regulatory crackdowns to send a message. Meanwhile, Starlink provides the Philippines with secure communications, reducing vulnerability to Chinese interference. Iran's interest in Starlink and its potential military support for Manila could see U.S. tech and Iranian hardware working together against China. This entanglement of business and geopolitics means any escalation could rattle global markets and supply chains. The stakes are higher than ever for companies caught in the crossfire. Picture a world map with new, unexpected lines. Tehran to Manila, cutting across old east-west divides. This emerging axis challenges China's dominance and redefines the BRICS power balance, with Iran acting independently. Within BRICS, fractures appear. China's economic weight, Russia's military might, and now Iran's assertiveness. The US faces a dilemma. Strengthen its alliance with the Philippines or tacitly accept Iranian support. Each path fraught with risks. Maritime choke points like the Strait of Hormuz and the South China Sea are now linked. Instability in one could trigger crises in the other. These new connections mean global trade routes are more interdependent and vulnerable than ever. A conflict in Asia could instantly impact the Middle East, and vice versa. The world's strategic map is being redrawn in real time. Iran's alignment with the Philippines signals a new, unpredictable era in global affairs. China now faces a coordinated challenge in the South China Sea, possibly forcing it to rethink its tactics or escalate further. For the US and its allies, Iran's involvement is a double-edged sword. It helps counter China but legitimizes Tehran as a global player. This could fracture US alliances, especially in the Middle East, and undermine decades of efforts to isolate Iran. Economically, instability in the South China Sea could disrupt global trade, fuel inflation, and shake investor confidence in BRICS. The dream of a unified bloc of emerging powers may collapse under internal rivalries. The world is entering an era of strategic fluidity, where alliances are transactional and conflicts are instantly interconnected. The Iran-Philippines connection may be remembered as the moment the old order truly began to fracture.